Time for News Extra, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank, Torrington and Mitchell, the way banking should be. Here's Kevin Mooney.
Thank you very much, Dennis. Good morning, everyone. Our guests today are Amy Seiler from the Nebraska Forest Service, and we have also with us Justin Evertson. And some of you folks down south may know Justin. He's kind of grew up over there in the Kimball area. He's working with the Nebraska Statewide Arboretum now. He's a staff member. We're going to talk about a couple of workshops that are scheduled today on sustainable landscape. They're going to be this afternoon over at the Scottsbluff Public Library. And Justin's kind of an expert on this stuff. I guess, first of all, Amy, real quick, why don't you describe when the workshops are and what maybe a little bit what we're trying to accomplish, then we'll talk to Justin.
Okay, sounds great. So the workshops are at the library, like you said, and they are from 1 to 4. And the people that we'd encourage to come at the session from 1 to 4 are any landscape professionals, anybody that is with a municipality that may be wanting to apply for a grant from the Arboretum in the future, and then also just the general public. There's going to be great information there today, so anybody that wants to learn more should come out. But then we also have another workshop from 5 to 7, and that's going to be a little bit more condensed, some of the same material from earlier, but a little more condensed, and we probably won't be talking about grants as much, but just sustainable practices for homeowners.
All right. Okay, Justin, let's talk about why people should be doing this. Now, when we're talking sustainable landscape, this is different than just, say, a bluegrass lawn and so forth. We're talking about changing basically what you want to do with your landscape at your home so you use less water and kind of freak out the neighbors a little.
Yeah, I like that.
That's what happened when I did it.
Yeah, I like that. Freak out the neighbors. We know we're doing something if we freak out the neighbors, so we probably don't want to be that blunt about it. But yeah, if we can think of our western Nebraska, the beauty of western Nebraska, this part of the world, the high plains, you know, we don't always celebrate that in our home landscapes or our parks and places that we keep things green. So let's start doing that. Let's embrace our western high plains heritage. Our, you know, some of the most beautiful wildflowers occur out here in the western part of Nebraska. We can bring those into our landscapes, and we can help reduce the amount of water we need, but we also invite cool, wonderful bees and insects that to our landscapes we don't normally see. So we just have a feeling that if we embrace our western heritage a little bit more in our own home landscapes, we're going to be doing good things.
All right. How difficult is it to get people to do this sometimes when you talk to them about, hey, you need to reduce the amount of grass you're mowing and put in some sustainable plants and that type of stuff? How difficult is it to do?
It's hard. It really is. Both Amy and I have been working at this a lot of years, and some years we shake our heads that, are we making a difference? And I think we are. But, you know, most people don't deal with it on a day-to-day basis. They need to get through the day, and they come home and mow the lawn, and it's hard to think about how the landscape could reach beyond that. So we're struggling, we're trying, and we're going to keep beating this drum. And at some point, remember what 2012 brought to us in that hot drought year. We're going to get hit with that again, and we just need to be prepared that our landscapes can be resilient and survive those kinds of years. So we'll keep pushing it.
Yeah, and the idea is less water.
Yeah.
Less water. You don't want to use as much water, and like you said, also have a landscape that maybe is somewhat different with buffalo grasses and that type of stuff. Buffalo grass, maybe you might think about, but also some other plants and so forth, and have a plan. Basically, you need to probably talk to somebody like Amy, who
Amy knows what she's doing.
Who designed ours, but you need to have a plan first of all, right?
You do need to have a plan. It's very important that you kind of lay some things out so that you just don't impulsively go to the garden center and just pick out the prettiest things, because truthfully, those very lovely plants may not be very sustainable in our landscapes. So a plan is very valuable. But the other thing that I would encourage people to think about is not only should it look nice, but it should function. It should be beneficial. So we want to be planting things that are good for our pollinators, good for all kinds of beneficial insects, which our songbirds would benefit from. We also want it just for wildlife benefit in general. And when we plan and when we look at nature and use that as an example, nature knows how to take care of itself. And use those ideas, we can implement a really nice landscape that not only benefits us, but everything else around us.
All right. Very good. Once again, these workshops are 1 to 4 this afternoon, and that's for landscape professionals, grant recipients, and so forth. But the general public is welcome to that if you want to come. And then 5 to 7 is actually targeted toward homeowners and that kind of thing, right?
Yes, mostly homeowners in the one this evening. But if people can't come this afternoon, please come and join us tonight. I think there's some good food and all kinds of stuff.
Cookies. Yeah. Stump the experts. We're going to have some fun with it. We're going to do a little soil activity and talk about how the soil in your yard works, so people be prepared to get your hands a little dirty. We're going to have fun with it.
All right, very good. We're going to talk more with Justin here about the Arboretum and so forth real quick in the next 3 minutes right after this.
Your bank should be a rock, not a roller coaster. This is Alexa Dollinger with Pinnacle Bank. We believe your bank is the foundation of your future. It's where you protect the money you've earned and get the financial tools you need to build a better tomorrow. So it makes sense to choose a bank that has high standards, one with ownership and management stability. Pinnacle Bank has been serving the Wyobraska area for over 90 years, and we look forward to serving you in the future. Stop by our Mitchell or Torrington branch and experience the way banking should be. Pinnacle Bank, member FDIC.
We're back on News Extra. We are talking about the landscape workshop coming up later today over at the Scottsbluff Public Library, where they're going to talk about sustainability. 1 to 4 p.m. for the landscape professionals, 5 to 7 p.m. for the homeowners. We have Justin Evertson here from the Statewide Arboretum along with Amy Seiler. Justin, real quick, let's talk about the Arboretum. We have about a minute, 45 seconds or thereabouts.
Yeah.
Tell us what your guys' mission is, what you guys kind of want to accomplish as you travel around the state.
Oh, great question. And so, our tagline mission is Sustainable Landscapes for Healthy Homes and Communities. And we work across the state. We could be in Fall City one day and Scottsbluff the next. This is a wide spreading, beautiful, wonderful state. We don't always realize what we have going on for us in a landscape sense. Our organization works to help interpret that, our native landscape in our communities. We're big advocates of trees and tree planting. Are you aware that we can grow over 300 different kinds of trees in this state? And then we also like to weave in our native, especially our prairie habitats, into our landscapes to think about the things that we were just talking about. Water conservation, pollinator habitat, and also functionality for us humans, making them more beautiful, more functional for us to entertain and have the fun in our lives. That's kind of what the organization is about.
Yeah, and it's a little different back east compared to here.
Yeah, right. Trees want to grow in eastern Nebraska.
Yeah.
I grew up in Kimball, and when I went to college in Lincoln, I was surprised to see all these big, tall, green things growing around, and they were trees that people told me. So I fell in love with trees and have it in my blood. But no, I tease about that. We grow trees well all across the state, but definitely out here in western Nebraska, the trees are a little different palette. We can use evergreens better. And in eastern Nebraska, we might blend more into oaks and hickories, things like that. And that's okay. Let's celebrate that in our own home landscapes, yeah.
All right, very good. Once again, the workshops 1 to 4 this afternoon and 5 to 7 this evening over at the Scottsbluff Lied Public Library.
And they're free.
And they're
by the
absolutely free. Yeah, we should mention that as well. All right, guys, thanks much. Appreciate you coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.